Hi friends, welcome to WizBusters. I'm Emma and today I'm going to show you how to show trends as a line graph in a single cell using the Sparkline function in Google Sheets. If this is the first time you're learning about the Sparkline function, I'll give you a review of the purpose and syntax of the function. Then I'll use examples to show you all the attributes and ways you can customize your line graph. The purpose of the Sparkline function is to create a small chart within a single cell. It can create line graphs, bar charts, column charts, and win-loss charts within a single cell. It can be very helpful in your dashboard to show trends on each row. To show the Sparkline function, we need to tell Google Sheets two things. One, where do we want to retrieve our data to trend? That is the range of cells or array which contains the data we want to plot. And two, what type of chart we want to create and the associated attributes. These are the two parameters. In Google Sheets, you will see equal Sparkline, data, options. Now that you know the syntax, let's dive in to understand each of these with examples. Before we begin, to stay updated with new videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified of the latest videos out. In our table, we see 5-day historical data for Microsoft shares from 13th of January 2020 to 17th of January 2020. Let's look at the first parameter. So let's type equal Sparkline, open parenthesis. Our first parameter in the Sparkline function is the range of cells or array which contains the data we want to plot. So we choose the range B3 to F3. Notice that our second parameter is in square brackets, which means this parameter is optional. So let's leave it out and see what we get. Notice we get a line graph that is black in color. From this, we can see that a line graph is the default chart type. Let's drag this down and apply it to the rest of the rows. The trends are different for each row. What if we wanted to change the color from black to green? Well, we can do this by using the second parameter, which is the options for the attributes for the chart. Attributes include chart type and color, etc. The syntax when using the second parameter is, when defining the attribute, we need to have the attribute name and the value for the attribute in a pair separated by a comma. Multiple attributes are separated by semicolons. So in cell G3, let's type equal Sparkline. We choose our data, which is B3 to F3. Our second parameter is options. We type open curly bracket, open quotation mark, chart type, close quotation, comma. Since we want a line graph, we type line, close quotation. We separate our attributes with a semicolon, and we want to have the color. So the attribute name is color, so we type color, close quotation, comma, and we want green, so we type open quotation, green, and close quotation. Then we close the curly bracket and we close the parenthesis. Notice we got a green line graph. But since we know that the line graph is the default chart type, we can omit this attribute when we want a line graph. So let's remove it from here and see what we get. We continue to get the line graph. The following are a list of attributes we can use for line graphs. Xmin, which allows us to set a minimum value along the horizontal axis. Xmax, which allows us to set the maximum value along the horizontal axis. We can do this for the y-axis as well, with ymin to set the minimum value along the vertical axis, and ymax to set the maximum value along the vertical axis. The attribute value for these four attributes would be a number which specified the minimum or maximum value along the vertical or horizontal axis. For example, let's look at the volume in row 7. Notice the lowest volume is 21,637,007. Let's change the minimum on the y-axis as 0 and see what we get. So to do this, let's go into our formula and let's add the attribute. Notice that the line graph does not start at the bottom of the cell anymore, and the steepness of the curve is less. In our example, we saw we can change the color by using the attribute color. The attribute color sets the color of the line. The values for the color are exactly as we spell the colors, like red, orange, or you can input a hex code. For row 4, let's try changing the color to red. So we type in the second parameter, open curly brackets, color, in quotation marks, comma, and red. Now our line graph is red. For row 5, let's try changing the color with a hex code, and let's use the hex code for amber. Put our open curly brackets, color, comma, and the hex code for amber is hashtag FFBF00, close curly brackets, and we've got amber. Just to note, the hex code includes the hashtag before the code, all included in the quotation marks. Another attribute is empty, and empty gives us some control of what we want to do with empty cells. We can make it 0 or we can ignore them. For row 6, let's have an empty cell for January 15th. That is in D6. Let's make this an empty cell. If we treat it as 0, we will type equal sparkline. So we've got that range selected. So we open our curly brackets. The attribute name is empty. What do we want to do if it's empty? Let's say we want to ignore it. There are 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, and shows the increasing trend with no dip for the empty cell. What if we wanted this to be 0? So we change the value from ignore to 0. Notice there's a dip in your line graph. By default, if there is an empty cell, Google Sheets will ignore it. So let's suppose we removed this, press enter, Google Sheets ignored it. Another attribute is NaN, which allows you to customize how you treat cells with non-numeric data. You can either convert them or ignore them. Let's try it out with row 4. In cell D4, let's type the word whiz. Notice that the line graph changed. There are 4 data points. Let's try using the attribute convert. That is to convert the text. So we separate our attributes by a semicolon. It seems to have converted into a 0, and there's a dip in the middle of the graph. If instead we ignore it, so we change convert to ignore, notice there are 4 values and it shows an increasing trend with no dip for the empty cell. By default, if there is a non-numeric value in a cell, Google Sheets will ignore it. Another attribute in the Sparkline function is RTL, which determines the chart is rendered right to left or left to right. Options are true or false, where true is that it is rendered right to left and false otherwise. Let's take a look at row 7. So let's delete this and let's use RTL, and the value is true. And notice the graph flipped. This is because it is reading the values from right to left. If we type in false instead, then notice it's an upward trend where we read the value from left to right, that is from January 13th to January 15th. So therefore, by default, the line graph reads from left to right, as if you remove this, you will see that the line graph reads it from left to right by default. In other words, the default value for RTL is false. Another attribute is the line width. This attribute allows you to customize the thickness of the line in the chart. The larger the number, the thicker the line. So let's try it with row 5. Let's type in G5. Let's add another parameter. To do so, we put our semicolon, and let's type line width, as this is the name of the attribute. And let's put a size of 5. So let's type in 5 and press enter. Observe that the width of your line has increased. The width of the line is now thicker. So those are the options for the attributes that we can use for the line graph in Google Sheets Sparkline function. That is it for today, my friends. Thank you for watching this video. and hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get more videos like this, and hit the bell to get notifications of the latest videos out. See you in the next video.